Today our topic is radio button and checkbox. And the first one is the radio button and the second one is checkbox. You can get this control from all Windows Phone. This is checkbox, and for radio button, this is the radio button. First, let us see radio button. The radio button control is used to provide a set of mutually exclusive options. The user can select one radio button in a group. If you need to place more than one group of radio button in the same form, you should place them in different container control, like a group box control. So suppose if we are having that means that if we are having 2 or 3 radio button in a form, then you can select only one radio button at a time. Suppose if you want to select more than one radio button at a time, then you have to place the radio button in a group box, that we will discuss it later. And the property of radio buttons are here. The default name is radio button 1. You can change it to whatever name you want, and the appearance can also be changed. This is the normal appearance, and you can have a button also. So when we click this, the button when you click this, then this radio button will be selected, and corresponding action will be performed. So here we will choose the normal appearance. And the size also you can change. This is the auto size, so whatever text we enter, that size, the radio button will take that size. Otherwise you can have a fixed size also. And the background color, you can change the back color of the radio button, and instead of the color you can put the image also. And the check align, this one is alignment, like the radio button can be placed like in different ways, like here middle, center. That small circle will be, that is the location where the small circle will be, or it will be at the top or bottom. Here we will use the default middle left. And check, this check state is when it is false, then it means we haven't selected this radio button, and we can set its property to true also. Here we can see a small dark circle inside the radio button, so this one is checked. So by default you can just set this value to true also, so it depends upon you. And here enable property is also there. This one is one of the common properties of the VB control. So if it is true, then it will respond to the mouse click events and key press events. If it is false, then it does not respond to any events. And the font styles, the font size also you can change it. The font color also you can change it. And here you can change the text also. The size and tab index, this we have already discussed. And the text alignment, also you can change it. Suppose here by default it's radio button. Suppose if we'll put the text like female, and then it will come like this, and we can align the text also depending upon this one. Here we have auto size, so this alignment may not have an effect. If it is fixed, then we can change the alignment, the text alignment also. So like this, we can copy it using Ctrl C and paste it. And here we have female, so the gender male, female. You can change the text like this. So only when we run the program, only one radio button can be uh, checked at a time. Here, male or female. When I click female, then this male will automatically be unchecked, and when I click male, then female will be automatically unchecked. So these are the properties of the some of the properties of the radio button. And when I double click it, check change event occurs. We have a number of events like click also, and the difference between check change and click is that click events will be called whenever we click the radio button, and check change will be called only when the check value, that is true or false, is changed. And we have here some of the common events like font change, got focus, key down, key press, key up, lost focus, mouse click, mouse down, mouse up, mouse hover. All those things, all those events are also present in radio button. And the next we have checkbox. The checkbox, we can see the difference by this symbol also. For radio button it's circle, and for checkbox it's a square. So the checkbox control allows the user to set true or false or yes or no option. So the user can select or deselect it. When the checkbox is selected, it has the value true. When it is cleared, then it holds the value false. And if we have a number of checkbox in the form, the difference is that we can check a number of we can set the value true to a number of checkbox. Like suppose I'll just copy and paste it, and again paste it, and I'll run the program. Here we can have a number of options. So this type of checkbox can be used like to select our hobby. Like suppose there's option like swimming, running, jogging, all those things are there. So if we can have a number of hobbies, so for that one, for multiple select, we can use checkbox. And this radio button will be like for selecting to select gender, to select this one, the caste, like scheduled tribe, scheduled caste, all those things, general and all. If and for many things we can use. So the main difference between checkbox and radio button is that in radio button we can select only one option at a time. For checkbox we can select any number of options. So let us demonstrate this radio button and checkbox further using a simple example. The properties and events of the checkbox and radio button are same. The default name is checkbox 1, and we have all those here: auto size, back color, background image, and enable property, font color, then the size, text. So everything is same, so I will not go into detail. I'll just write one simple example. So I will delete all these things first. And as I have already mentioned, for radio button and for both, I'll just use group box. Okay, one group box for the radio button, another group box for the checkbox. So if we have a number of group box, then like we can have multiple check for radio button. So in the first group, I'll just write select font style, and here I'll write select font size. So this group is mainly for container of another control. So the importance is like if we want to we can put multiple control which is having same function. Like suppose if we want to hide some multiple control, then we can just put in one group box and we can set its visibility to false, so that we don't need to set for each and every control. First, here I put select font style, so I'll put checkbox here. So font style, bold, italics, and underline. I'll put checkbox 1, checkbox 2, checkbox 3. For the first one, I'll put italics, then bold, then underline. Then for font size, I'll use the radio button. I'll put here font size. First one will be 12, then Control-C, Control-V, Control-V, and 12 I have here 14, and here 16, and I'll have this one one label and one text box. Here enter your name, and here I'll have text box. Here I'll put the multi-line property to true, because the font we are going to increase the font size, so to make it more visible, I'll put this multi-line property to true. Okay, so it's bigger now. Okay, so I'll write the code for this font. So for this application is about like I'll enter my name in the text box and I'll change the font style, italics or bold or underline. The same way here also I'll change the font size using radio button. Here I'll double click the italics, checkbox one. Here I already have I have this coding. I'll just copy paste it. Okay, checkbox 1 here. When I click the checkbox 1 check change events will be triggered, and if checkbox 1.check is equal to true, if it is checked, the checkbox 1 is checked, then textbox 1 dot font equal to new font, textbox 1 dot font, and here I'll change the font style to italics. If it is unchecked, that is if it is false, here it will go to else, and it will again change it to regular. So for the same for bold also, I'll write the code. I'll just change here bold. And for this one, here we have a list of options. Underline, strike through. Here I put underline. Okay, and for the radio button, we have this one code. I'll just paste it in order to minimize the time. Here I have to declare dim is integer. This one is to get the font size. Dim is integer, so there's no more error. And I'll paste this code for the other two radio button. I'll change this radio button 2 and radio button 2 the same way. I'll also click, then I'll explain the coding. Okay, the coding for the checkbox is quite straightforward. That is, if the checkbox 1 is check, if check is equal to true, then text box 1 font, the font in the text box 1 will change it to italics. Okay, we'll create a new font, and these are the parameters. Text box 1 dot font, the font style will remain the same, and the font name will remain the same, and we will change the font style. Otherwise it will be regular. The same way for the checkbox 2, if it is bold, then if it is check, it will be set to bold, otherwise regular. And for the third checkbox, if it is check, then it will change it to underline, otherwise regular. And for the radio button, we have one integer I. So first we will take this value, that is this 12, 14, 16. This one is the radio button text, so we will take this text, radio button 1 dot text, and we'll convert into integer since I is an integer, so we convert into integer. And if that radio button is check, if check is true, then text box 1 dot font equal to new font, text box 1 dot text is one text remain the same, then I is the size. So for the radio button 1, the size is 12, so I is 12, and the font style will remain the same. We will set it to regular. So let us run this program and you will understand what happens. So here enter your name. So I'm going to write the name, example James Smith, then italics, and if I uncheck, it will be unchecked. Bold, why is bold not working? Wait, I have to check again for this checkbox, for this two checkbox. Oh yeah, I haven't changed this one, checkbox 2, and this one should be checkbox 3. Okay. So we have this one, enter your name. I'll just write Zola, and italics. If you uncheck, it will go back to regular. Bold, uncheck to bold. Underline, if you uncheck, then it will clear. Font size also 12. 12 is the, here the name is changed, and 14 and 16. So this is a very simple example of option radio button and checkbox. Thank you.